So we're going. Alright, I would like to welcome you all to Solar Zone in Melbourne, Victoria. Today we're going to speak about solar subfloor ventilation and why it's important to ventilate underneath your house and what solutions we have to offer to solve the problems of damp subfloor. So let's get started. My name is Ernest Gable. I'm the director of Solar Zone, and I'm here to give you an idea about the subfloor. So, with this, why subfloor ventilation? It protects your home against the damages caused from retained moisture under the floor. It also avoids health problems from illness due to toxic mould spores which grow inside the house. What damage can retained moisture under the floor actually do? This is an example of damaged foundations where the bricks here have all started to corrode from the moisture coming up through the ground and being absorbed up through the foundations. Here's an example of where the joists and the floorboards are rotting, and sooner or later somebody's going to fall through the floor. Here is a situation where the dampness has made an excellent home for the termites. So the termites are eating away at the floor of the house, and this is part of their nest in close to where the moisture is. Here, the joist here is supposed to be on top of these bricks. These bricks have actually corroded and fallen down, so the whole floor will wobble and move when you walk on it. Here's an example where a beautiful timber floor has swelled and the timbers are moving up and it's not even anymore. So unless that's dried out, this floor will have to be totally ripped up and replaced. Here's an example we find quite often, is the moisture comes up and it makes the carpet damp and smelly. So once you get the mould in the carpet, you'll never get rid of the smell. You need to throw the whole lot out and start again. This is an example where toxic black mould has invaded the house. So it's in the floor, it's come up through the walls, the paint's lifted off the walls, and it's really hard to get rid of all of this once it's in there. And this is a very unhealthy place to live. So that's some of the examples of what can happen if your subfloor is moist. So how do we eliminate the moisture under the floor? Here's an example of under the floor where when it rains the water runs in through here and just lodges here. So the first thing is to put a drain across so that you don't get the moisture running in, and then if you get any seepage at all, then to have an airflow across there so that it gets rid of the moisture. This is the rules of building a house. Typically this is your wall, so you have a fall away from the building, so when the rain falls, any water that's here will run away from the building. Underneath the house there needs to be a fall as well, so that any water that does get in will run out. So a dry subfloor is essential for the house. Further than that, you need to have vents all the way around the house so that air can get in and get out. In a moist area you need more vents, or you need a fan or something to make it go. This is an example of fitting some vents. These are very good because they stop all the mice and animals from getting in, but there's very good spacing there for air to get through. These are the typical old sort. You can see the difference in the amount of air that can go through, but still, these are still better than having no vents at all. Now this is what I was talking about before, about generating an airflow. So if you've got vents here, you can put a fan on this side and you can draw the air straight through under the house. If you've got a moist area here, then you draw it across the moist area and pull the air will pull the moisture out. Do you have any questions? Yes, you can. You could do it from the end, but in this house, all the walls are that way, so it'd be better to go across. So if you've got vents on one side of the house, you can have a fan on the other side and draw the air right through. How do we drive the fan? Well, you can pay for the electricity, or you can put a solar panel like this on the roof. So what we do is we match the size of the solar panel to the size of the fan. I have here a typical solar panel that we use. This is mounted on the roof like that. There's the wire that goes to the fan. Now you can adjust the tilt angle. You could even mount this on a wall like that. So you can do a north facing wall or an east facing wall. North's the best, or west. That's the solar panel. Advantages of using a solar fan. Well, number one, it's free to run. That's pretty obvious. Secondly, it only runs during the daytime. That's because there's no sun to make the panel generate power at night time. Thirdly, the air is generally drier during the day, so it'll pick up more moisture and take it out. And fourthly, dry air flowing through will dry out the subfloor faster than running nighttime air. And fifth, it could be important that it doesn't disturb the peace of the night, so you don't have a fan running, you don't hear it when you're in bed, when you go to sleep. What type of fan should I install? There's three main types. There's wall-mounted fans, inline fans, and large gable fans. Wall-mounted fans, all you need to do is make a hole in the side of the building and insert the fan from the outside. You don't need to access the subfloor area. Here's a typical one. This one here has got no vent on the front, but it's a similar fan. So with this one here, you can connect a duct if you want for the inside, but you make a hole this size, push it in, connect up your solar panel with this. It's just low voltage, and that'll just work all day, sucking the moist air out. There's various different sizes of this one. Here's a bigger one. So you got the different sizes for different applications, but they're similar. They've both got the grill. So there's one thing that you could ask for, and that is about the bushfire mesh. Alright. These have a wire mesh to stop moths and things getting inside, but we can also replace that mesh with a finer bushfire mesh, which means you can put them in bushfire rated areas. Inline fans. I don't have one here. I do. This is an inline fan with the flanges at both sides. The advantage of this is you can put a duct here, you can put a duct here. You don't have to have the fan at the edge. You can have anywhere under the building, and you can duct to a specific wet area, take the moisture out of there and bring it outside. Right. These are all 12 volt fans. There's I think 4 different models, 4 different speeds. Yeah. And there's 2 or 3 different diameters. This is the ducting we use. We use the insulated ducting close to the fan because it muffles the sound. Otherwise, if you use the straight aluminium, it amplifies the sound and you can hear it running. And large gable fans. These are about 330 diameter and they can do around about 3,000 cubic metres an hour. So it's about nearly 10 times what this fan will do. Alright, what are the costs of the solar ventilators? I probably won't run through the costs here, but we have this chart which has the different sizes and the different prices. They're available on the website. They start from about $665 for the kit and go up from there. What are the costs of doing nothing? Well, you've got your health from all the mould spores. Mould is really a lot more dangerous than people give it credence for. Your house is rotting, you have the smells, and you have termites. This is the contact address. It's Solazone, Victoria, 68 Highbury Road in Burwood. There's our phone number. Email me. That's my name. Or there's Chad or Beffy here. We can all help you. And that's it. Thank you very much for coming.